you so much for this introduction. So, hello everybody. I'm Stefan. I'm tech producer and lead developer at Web Software. That is team responsible for, let's say, flawless performance of game score on a couple of platforms, or that is something we believe so. So I'm here today to talk to you about porting. Our team has been involved in porting processes for the last couple of years, and we were upgrading our knowledge and skills in that area that uh, we think is a really big part of the game development industry that should be talked about a little bit more. So these are the topics that I will cover in this session. So basically, I will try to give you some key points on what porting is and why should you port your game. A little bit about optimization processes and how it goes. And by the end of this session, hopefully I will clarify some misconception about what is porting and why you should do it. So, what is porting? A couple of years ago, when I was just a young gameplay developer, I know absolutely nothing about what porting is and how that should be done. But when our publisher came to us maybe a year before the release of the game and said, we're going to send you some dev kits, it was a year before the release. We're going to send you some dev kits and you should start port your game on Xbox Series X and S. We had exclusive deal with them to be, let's say, only platform that we're going to release on besides PC on the first day of the release. So we started working on it. I suppose some of you are familiar with this screen. We thought, okay, we're going to create a package for a specific platform. In our case, it was Xbox. We're going to fix a little bugs, and that should be it. And yeah, definitely no, that's not the process of porting. Porting includes a lot of documentation from platform itself. When I said a lot, it's like pages, hundreds of pages of documentation that platforms want you to read and understand, and it's really good documentation. After that, you're going to see a lot of platform specific feature they want you to include. So for example, achievements, it's mandatory on some platforms. They want you to have 10 achievements, 1,000 score of achievements, things like that. And age rating that can differ from region to region. But also you need to choose between some optional features like rich presence. It's some live tracking of your player status inside the game. So this player is currently exploring the dungeons or killing the main boss. That's all something you need to implement. It's not done out of the box. So after you finish all that process and test a lot internally, you're gonna send your title to certification, and that's another kind of issue you're gonna expect. So certification process is when you send your build to platform center, and they book you a slot for testing. They test your game for every check mark they want you to succeed. So there's, as I said, mandatory requirements and optional requirements. So it's a long and back and forth process with them. You don't always get the slot on the times you want, and it's really exhausting. But in the end, uh, it's looking something like this. So your game is certified, ready to be published on that specific platform. I don't know how can I describe that concrete feeling. I don't know, maybe like birth of my first child, but my wife would kill me probably. So anyway, when we finished that, we created a party. We all get wasted and so on. But just 2 days after that, we changed our content because the game was not finished yet. So if you change the content after certification, you need to do another certification. So basically, optimal thing would be to send your build to certification only when your content is locked. And that's in 99% not true, because time is pushing you to do things you're impossible to do. Uh, anyway, this was rather my chaotic experience with first porting, and it was really kind of enjoyable if you're sadist. So porting in general should be preparing your game for a platform that you didn't make initially. So most of us create games for PC, and that's kind of industry standard now. And after that, you're deciding to do PlayStation, Xbox, or Switch, maybe if you're insane. Um, so yeah, if you ask me what is porting, that is porting. And maybe let's go step back and see why should you port your game, because everything mentioned before, nobody wants to do it. Uh, I don't know, almost every graph covering this topic look similar. I choose one, but nonetheless, if you find something, the results are similar. About 56% of all gamers, potential buyers of your game, are coming from console markets. So in fact, it should be a no-brainer to port your game to other platforms. It's not only about revenue to your company, but let's be honest, it's the biggest business opportunity you're gonna get. So it's not only about that, it's about boosting up the knowledge of your team in a ways you didn't imagine before. So throughout that process, you're gonna learn a lot, and you're gonna be prepared to start your next game with way more knowledge and way more. You're gonna be way more cautious when you make the games. And that's the optimization comes in. So we mentioned before that there is some platform specific stuff like software stuff, but there is also a hardware thing. As you all may know, the different devices have different hardware specifics, and PC is way above other platforms in the terms of CPU, GPU, and memory. So when you start to make your game, you're gonna stumble upon some optimization on PC also, but you're gonna overcome it, and you're gonna be satisfied with minimum requirements of I don't know, 4090 and A9 and huge PCs that are 5,000 euros. But when you go to consoles, a tons of problems start to kick in, and that's when the optimization starts really. So first step in optimization is profiling. Uh, Profiling is a way of, let's say, exploring your game performance and finding bottlenecks. Sorry, finding bottlenecks, finding all the bad practices you did during your game development, and now is the time you fix them. Uh, One thing for sure gonna become your nightmare, and that is memory. So memory, available memory on platforms other than PC are way too low, and you're gonna struggle a lot. The only advice I can give you right now, because this is a short presentation, I cannot share more of optimization stuff, but you can ask me in the hallways, and the whole team from App Software is here. You can ask them also. Is try not to load your game on start, just to be sure that every asset will be loaded when you come there. So that is a really bad practice that's going to cost you when you come to consoles. Anyway, this is the slide that should show you some of our achievements comparing Xbox Series X with PC on max settings. And this image is awful, but you need to trust me. It's looking the same, and it's amazing. And that's something you want to achieve. You want your game to provide the best possible experience on every platform, not just PC. So that should be your main goal when porting. And in the end of this short presentation, I must say that porting is an amazing opportunity for your game to reach a vast amount of people. And while it can be challenging and maybe sometimes to look impossible, I encourage everyone to at least try it, because the gains from learning that and gains from that experience can compare with any cost you're gonna have. I here stand as an example of what you can achieve in just a couple of years, from a gameplay developer to a tech producer that is leading a team of 5 amazing people that consist of 3 tech artists, 1 engine programmer, and 1 QA engineer, to port a couple of other people's games that is all another layer of complexity to different platforms, and now here to share my knowledge with all of you nice people. Thank you so much for listening.